Hello there, my name's Tracy Alsam and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in Canada. Today's project is one that has come about as a result of this design that I created for the What Will You Stamp design team for this week's challenge, which uses the stamp set Magical Day, which is this mermaid and the little seahorse and some of these other images. And I created this diorama gift tag. You can see there it's lots of different layers, and I said that I would create another tag using exactly the same process so that you could see exactly how I went about it. So that's my inspiration. I've made another one here, and this is using the dragon from that Magical Day stamp set, and the dies that cut out these pieces are Magical Mates framelits dies, and you can buy them by themselves or you can buy them as part of the stamp set bundle, and if you do that you'll save 10%. So today I want to make a gift tag with our little knight. I think he's very cute. I've coloured him using Stampin' Blend markers. So we have Smoky Slate for his armour and Bermuda Bay and Daffodil Delight for his gloves and his plume and his shield, and his face is done with ivory. And then hopefully you can see there I went over the sword and the armour and his helmet with a clear Wink of Stella glitter brush to really give it some sort of metallic shine. So he's going to be my main point. So I thought I would show you exactly how I went about making that diorama tag. So I'm going to start with my stamping trimmer. I need a piece of card that is 4 1/4 inches wide by 4 1/4 inches long. And we're just going to score that, cut that. Then we need to score it at 1/4 inch. So I'm moving the card over to that first line, and that's 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to move it over here, so I'm scoring at 2 inches. So we have two 2-inch pieces and a 1/4 inch strip. So that's that done. What I'm going to do now with my bone folder is just fold the tag on those scored lines and sharpen it with a bone folder. Now I have the scallop tag topper punch, my favourite punch, and I've tucked in that little strip. And if I keep it flat on the table and nice and firmly, I can in fact cut through all those pieces at once. So now I have a tag that is folded with that nice top on it. So that's done. Now I need to cut the hole in the centre. For that I'm using the Layering Ovals framelits. They don't come in a case like this, but you can buy the cases separately from Stampin' Up! In packs of 4. And what I do is I buy some cheap magnetic adhesive sheet from Diorama, and I then put my dies in there so that I can see exactly what I've got, and I number them so I know which size is which, and it helps me to find the next one that I need. And I know for this particular tag I'm going to need 2, 3 and 4. So bring the big shot in. I'm still using these very worn pads. Hasn't quite given up on me yet. Okay, so here is my tag, and I'm going to place the largest of the 3 that I pulled out. So that would be number 4. Always count from the smallest up. And I'm going to place that so it's centered between those 2 score lines. And we're going to run that through the big shot. Okay, so we have that piece, and the oval that we're left with, just use that, put that one side and use that for another project. Now I have some lemon lime twist card, and I'm going to use the slightly smaller, the number 3 die, oval die, and this is part of the Mr. Magic 6x6 glimmer paper pack. Absolutely gorgeous. We've got this lime green colour, and there is a Bermuda Bay or a turquoise colour, which is this one, and there is a clear dazzling diamonds effect as well. So we'll run those through. Move that out of the way, and here we have our pieces. Again, these ovals are just put aside and can be used for something else. So here is my tag, and what I'm going to do is I'll start by just putting a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue along the top of that first plain piece. So this hole has been cut with the number 4 of the plain edged oval dies in that set, and on the lemon lime twist layer that I'm just sticking in now, that was cut out using the number 3. Now it's actually quite useful because when you use these dies, it creates a little indent, and it's actually exactly shows me exactly where to place the hole over the top. So there's the first one, it's stuck in place. It's a little bit hanging over there, and this is one of the issues. If you can't quite get it in the centre, don't worry about it, just chop that off, just make sure it's level. So I've just chopped off the excess just to make sure I've got some room at the bottom there. I can glue it together at the end. Let's chop a little bit more off. And it doesn't have to be exact, but the idea is that by having a slightly larger piece, longer piece, if it's not quite centred, you can see I wasn't quite square when I put it into the big shot. It doesn't matter because I've got myself a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, now for the glimmer paper piece, Tombow, the multi-purpose liquid glue, won't work with that. So what I'm going to use instead is some sellotape. So I have some bit of sellotape here, and I'm going to put the sellotape on the back there, and a little bit of sellotape on the back there, so it can't be seen through the hole. And again, turn the tag over and look at it from the front, and then place the glimmer paper exactly where you want it to be, and then just press top and bottom, and you have it stuck exactly where you want it. Again, just double check you haven't got any sellotape showing through the outside. So that's that piece. This is a piece of the Myths and Magic Designer Series paper pack. It's a specialty designer series paper, and it's actually got dragons on it that are all shiny. I actually wanted this castle, and this is the edge of the paper, and normally that, you'd think you wouldn't be able to use it, but it works very well for this. So I'm going to put some liquid glue on the back, and then I'm going to place it inside so I can see exactly where it is inside my tag. And press it down so it fits in place. Again, it's hanging over a little bit. Now's the time to trim a little bit off. Just don't overdo it. You've got all of this space there, but until you've actually got the hole on your tag, it's difficult to know exactly where your DSP is going to go. So there we are, there's our little castle in the background, and that's ready to go. So now, a bit of glue on that flap, that long edge, and I'm going to put a little bit on the bottom here and a little bit around the top of the tag, because once we put all these layers together, even though we've not used dimensionals to put this together, it might still gape a little bit. So we're going to tuck that little flap in, press it down and just hold it closed for a minute or two. There we go. So there's that. Now all we need to do is bring our little guy in here. I'm going to grab a stamping dimensional and put it on his piece of stamping dimensional. Just put it on his plume there. I think. Work out where he's going to go. So I just want him to be a little bit supported just at the back there. And let's put one just on his head. The rest of him will be stuck down with a little bit of liquid glue. So we have stamping dimensionals at the top, a little bit of liquid glue just behind his sword and his feet. And then we've got him on this side. His eyes are looking that way, so I wanted him to kind of be looking towards the castle. So there's the tag. Now to create the ribbon, I have some 1/8 inch sheer whisper white ribbon here because I don't have any grey. So what I'm going to do is I have my grey, this is the light, the dark smoky slate stamping blends, and I'm literally just going to run the ribbon through. Turn it around, hold it down with the brush tip and just pull the ribbon through. Now although it does go through, it doesn't always go through evenly, so I like to go back and just double check that both sides are completely coloured. Sometimes I find the slightly thicker edge doesn't always take up the ink at the same rate as the middle of the ribbon. And now I have a piece of kitchen paper and I'm just going to hold the ribbon and just run it through. It picks up any little bits of excess ink so that when I tie this onto my tag we don't get a lot of ink transfer. So we'll put that through, try and tie it in a simple knot. Without twisting the ribbons. There we go. Simple knot. Trim the ends. And there we have it. There's our little guy. There's our dragon. And there is our mermaid. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And thank you for visiting my craft studio today through my YouTube channel. In the description below you'll find a link to my blog, and I'll have all the measurements for the pieces used on this project, as well as full list of all the Stampin' Up products that I use for all 3 tags. If you live in Canada, you can also buy those Stampin' Up products via my online store, and I will be giving away a few little goodies if you order this bundle with the Magical Day stamp set and the Magical Mates framelits dies. And so for daily paper crafting information and anything else that you need, do visit my website and my blog at tracyelsom.stampinup.net. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope to speak to you again soon. Bye.